Hey you guys, I'm back. So this is part 2 of measurement notes. I want to continue about how to read and report measurements correctly. Again, the first thing is you read exactly what you see on the measuring tool. So if I had an object that I was again measuring right here and it fell right here, then I would be able to read my object exactly on my measuring tool until it hit this point right here. So I can read the 1 exactly on the measuring tool. I can read the 2 centimeters. I can read the 3, so 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. And I always estimate the last digit. So in this case, I'm going to estimate the 5, so 2.35. The last digit is always an estimated digit. If the object, so let's say my object it falls all the way over here and ends right here. Again, I can read 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters directly on my measuring tool. I can read 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5. So I can read 3.5 exactly on the measuring tool. And my last estimated digit, since my object falls directly on a tick mark, my estimated digit would be 0. So let's look at this graduated cylinder. This is a metric ruler. This is a graduated cylinder. You're going to use this to measure volume of a liquid, if you remember from before. First of all, I have to figure out what are the increments increasing by. So if this is 40, so 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. Okay, so now I know that my graduated cylinder is increasing in increments of 10. So, sorry, increments of 1, excuse me. So let's say my liquid is right here. So it's in my graduated cylinder. I'll make the base of my graduated cylinder. So it's in my graduated cylinder. I guess that's 40 milliliters, so we wouldn't really have the base right there. Okay, so I've got my water or whatever substance in my graduated cylinder. Comes all the way up here. That curve in the graduated cylinder is called the meniscus, if you remember that. It's called the meniscus. So what I'm going to do is I'm always going to read my measurement at the bottom of the meniscus. So I know my liquid is at least at 40, 45 for sure, 46, 47, 48. So I can read for sure 48 point, now this would be 49, so I'm going to have to estimate my last digit, so it would be 48 point, and I would say 5 milliliters. Now, the last digit is truly an estimation. So if you looked at this and you said, no, I think it's 48.6 milliliters, you are not incorrect, because the last digit, especially if something falls in between 2 tick marks, is always an estimation. So if my meniscus fell right directly on this tick mark, I would know that my liquid reaches this tick mark right here. So 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So it'd be 45. And my last digit is always estimated 45.0 milliliters. It's really, really important that you guys figure out the increments increasing by. So let's say, for instance, my graduated cylinder, let's say this tick mark is actually the 50 milliliter mark. Okay, so let's say this tick mark is actually the 50 milliliter mark. So I'd have to figure out what are my calibrations, or what are each of my tick marks. So if that's 50, so this is 40, so this would be 42, 44, 46, 48, and 50. So if this was the case, if this was my 50 mark, then I would know that my calibrations or my tick marks were rising every 0.2 milliliters. versus every 2 milliliters versus every 1 milliliter. So that's something you should definitely keep your eye on. Okay, you guys, so that's all that I wanted to chat with you guys about on taking measurements. The next time I chat with you, we're going to talk about putting two measurements together and specifically talking and figuring out how to calculate the density of different objects. Make sure that you have copied this information into your notes. I will put the PDF notes on this link as well. That way you have access to the PDF as well as the videos. Hope you guys are well. I miss you. Take care.